How does evolution explain life's diversity in GED science? Imagine a world where all living things look the same and behave the same way. Now think about how different plants, animals, and even tiny bacteria are from each other. Evolution helps us understand how this incredible variety of life came to be. It all starts with the idea that species change over time through a process called natural selection. Natural selection happens when individuals in a group have different traits, like a bird with a longer beak or a darker fur coat. Some traits help them survive better in their environment, so those individuals are more likely to reproduce and pass on their traits. Over many generations, these helpful traits become more common, and the species gradually changes. A key part of this process is genetic variation, which means differences in the DNA of individuals within a species. These differences come from mutations, which are random changes in genes, and from sexual reproduction, which mixes genes from two parents. When a species has a lot of genetic variation, it can better handle changes in its environment. For example, if a population of insects has some with resistance to a pesticide, those insects are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on their resistance. This is how populations adapt to new challenges. Sometimes, groups of the same species become so different that they can no longer interbreed. This is called speciation, and it often happens when populations live in different environments. For example, Darwin's finches on the Galapagos Islands develop different beak shapes to eat different foods. This divergence creates new species over time. On the other hand, unrelated species can develop similar traits because they live in similar environments. This is called convergent evolution, like dolphins and sharks both having streamlined bodies to move through water. Looking at structures like the bones in a whale's flipper, a bat's wing, and a human arm shows how evolution connects different species. These bones are similar because they come from a common ancestor, even though they are used differently now. This is called homologous structures. It shows how species can change and adapt while still sharing some basic features. Biodiversity is the variety of life on Earth. It includes different species, the genetic differences within those species, and the variety of habitats they live in. Evolution is the process that creates and keeps this diversity alive. It allows species to adapt to their surroundings and survive through changing conditions. So, in simple terms, evolution explains life's diversity by showing how genetic differences and natural selection work together to shape the many forms of life we see today. Understanding this helps us see how all living things are connected and how they change over time.